God that is in the God is the Father of everybody. Let's serve God as God. Let us not serve God as if it's somebody's property. And that is the problem of religion in Nigeria.
Okay.
People started seeing somebody as God. You know what Peter said in the book of Acts? He said, God is not the respecter of any man. Place for reverence, there is place for honor, there is place where you have to respect, you revere this person, but that shouldn't mean somebody should exalt himself to be like God
and become an idol.
All
right, thank you so much for your opinion on that. Because of that, move on to our next story. Federal Capital Territory Police Command has intercepted a former immigration officer who was attempting to sell sophisticated firearms to bandits operating in the Abuja-Kaduna forests. The dismissed officer, whose name was not disclosed, was arrested following an intelligence-led operation by the police. Speaking to journalists in Abuja on Wednesday, the officer in charge of the anti-kidnapping unit, Mustafa Mohammed, said the operation prevented the arms from reaching criminal elements who he said could have made them deadly. Mohammed said, acting on intelligence, the command intercepted these guns from a dismissed immigration officers attempting to sell them to bandits terrorizing the Abuja-Kaduna forest. The intelligence was received in time and the arms were intercepted while he was trying to make the delivery. Mohammed said among the recovered weapons was a Scorpion C7 CZ-EVO3, an advanced fully automatic firearm with an inbuilt silencer. This is the latest model, the 2022 version of the Scorpion series. It can be used in single automatic or burst mode. It is a highly sophisticated weapon and its magazine can hold between 20 to 30 rounds depending on the configuration. We also recovered 52 rounds of ammunition, which could have posed a severe threat had they fallen into the hands of criminals. On his part, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Tunji Disu, said a total of 300 suspects were arrested between January and February 28, 2025. Disu said in its sustained efforts to rid the Federal Capital Territory of crime and criminal elements, the FCT Police Command has intensified its operations, carrying out a series of high-impact raids from January 1st to February 28, 2025. A case that is absurd and appalling, where we have an immigration officer who is meant to secure these weapons now involving in illegal trade. What do you think could be the cause?
Michael, I think I said something about this when we were talking about the governor's rooms. I said, for everything that is happening, there is political undertone. There is this political undertone. And if not just political undertone, there is a top man, either in the military that is, because I asked, it was here I asked the questions now, or where do these terrorists get weapons from?
Yes, he did.
I asked. We are saying terrorists, where are they getting their weapons? How do weapons get to them?
I think this answers the question in
so
part.
Now, this is to tell you, there was, who said this thing before, that some of the generals, that was under Buhari regime now, that the military asserted that some of the generals were involved. Someone asserted, there was an action like that during Buhari's time, that terrorism, Boko Haram, is not just only that some military men they are involved, that they are even feeding from the fund allocated to fight insurgency. Yes, it was all over the place. Now, look at this now. As a custom officer, you can pass anywhere. It's meant to secure, it's meant to check what is coming in and what is going out. Is it custom or immigration officer? Immigration officer. It's meant to look at who is coming and what is going out. So seeing him, you will just allow him to have a free pass. He's the one aiding this to happen. Okay, this is 1 in a million of those that are involved. I have been at Jibia, which is the border between Nigeria and Niger. I can't narrate what was happening there, how porous the border is. Nigerian border, the one I sat, the one I was, Jibia, how porous. So, we should look inward, our security architecture. The men are the aims of affair. One of the military guys came on air when this alleged U.S. sponsorship of Boko Haram came in, and he said, if not that they denied somebody visa, would this have come up?
Yeah.
Would this? So we should look. They should look inward. This thing that there's no stop to it. The perpetrators, the actual, see, it's not the person that kill you that is the actual murder. The person that sent them.
Okay. So it boils down to motive or not, beyond the action.
Beyond the action. Who is sponsoring this thing? Who is sponsoring this evil?
You know, this to an extent exposes the fact that there is a booming market of illegal weapons.
Not just illegal weapons. There is a booming market of crime in Nigeria. Crime is a market that if you can involve yourself in it, bro, you are making it big time overnight. There's a market of crime that people are taking advantage of. People are still, do you know how much involved? Scorpio, how much is one of the weapons? AK-47, how much is one AK-47? Automated pump action, how much is one? And so on. How many ammunitions are there? 50 something outside the Scorpion.
And these are the latest versions.
They caught it from somebody. How much is involved there? And you are telling me agriculture will cop terrorism?
I will come to hold your thought. I will come back to you. Someone who knows that once these weapons leave the market, they could get into the hands of wrong people and become a threat to the society. But do you think that they know the dangers of this and still go into this trade, or it's all about profit beyond human lives?
It depends on the motive the person has in mind. The person's major concern is profit, and it's all about profit. The person no longer cares about human lives. I need the money. So whatever comes with the money, the risk of getting the money, I'm in for it. So that's how the person's mindsets are. I want to ask a question. It's an ex-immigration officer. This is someone that has gone through trainings, procedures and everything. And you still have the mindset of handling over these weapons to hardened criminals. And you're telling me, back to what he said, and you're telling me that agriculture can work. When this is someone that has gone through training, everything, and he still has that mindset. What about a mere guy on the streets that carries gun? Yeah. So it can't just work like that. You are
trying to go back to the fact that agriculture cannot cause terrorism.
So, agriculture provides food, it provides employment, it provides internal generated revenue, which is one of any government that is going for agriculture. It's not just the agriculture nation, they are looking at the revenue generation. Let's not hide behind this. They are looking at how, which of the state government, is it Plateau state government that said that they are targeting 52 billion as internal generated revenue this year? Yeah, right, thank God, River State has money. That's what the state is saying for the whole year. But it's well, brother. Okay, let's come back. If you look at I want to limit this because let me not take it wider. If you look at the insecurity architecture in Nigeria, if today we hear that we've dislodged perpetrators of insecurity here, tomorrow we hear them launching attack another place. Abi? Now, what is making this thing? Who is giving the information? Who is planning the attack? You must be skilled to know military operations. No, see, any of both the boys in the creek, anywhere, the first thing they have is either an ex-military man or someone in service.
Okay.
Yes. It's either an ex-military man or someone
now, with this you just said, this is a case of, do you think to an extent,
Nigeria is porous, Nigeria is corrupt. No, let's not joke with it. Do you know what it is? Everybody, anything you can do to survive in Nigeria, that is the anthem in Nigeria. I don't know whether we are three that use my ringing tone. I've said it often and on. Some of my friends will tell me to believe in Nigeria, but it's painful. How would it be? We are looking. Just look at this now. A man is carrying this volume. Do you know? It's not just that he left. He has crossed several places before coming to this place.
Yeah.
Now, beyond today, before he could have the tenacity, the effrontery of doing this today, what has he been doing? And outside just him, how many are there that are doing this thing? And we have a system. Now all what our let me not go there. What they are talking about is what they are going, how we suspend person. Bills that are supposed to help us in Nigeria, you will not pass it. What you are going about is tax reform, which is also good. But to some extent, there are major things that are important to tackle. Look at what is happening in Abuja, our capital. Do you know what this thing is telling to the world?
Irrespective of the security.
Do you know what the picture is painting to the world? Our headquarters, the brain box of Nigeria, where military security is sophisticated. So it's high time that we as Nigerians, we should come back. I still believe in what Prof. Fred said. Prof. Fred, I believe in what he said, that until people are critical in their consciousness, evil persists. Until we come to the times that a senator will look and say, this thing I am doing in this Senate, how is it affecting Nigeria? If me, consider, one thing I love about Ghana, if you look at all Ghanaians, they will say motherland. Motherland. Also, now, do you know the picture is painting to them? They are doing everything because I will do everything to protect my mother. Yeah. I will do everything to protect the interest of my mother. You can't slap my mother and I leave you. Be you who. If I can't beat you, I will pour you sand.
We'll get down to that.
No, I'm talking about this. So it's better that we, the political class, everybody involved, they should go back now. How best can we? I'm still thinking of what the president of Senegal did. Don't put my picture anywhere. Put the picture of your families. What I am doing when I am stealing, will it be good that I am the father? My children will look at me and say their father is a thief. My theft, is it going to build the economy for my children coming? The decisions I am taking as the president, as the governor, as a minister, as a commissioner, how best is this thing going to help this nation and the children coming, the generation coming after me? As a senator, as House of Reps member, as House of Assembly member, whatsoever position you are holding, even if you are chairman of the board, you should look at this, because if all these hands are on deck, this thing will be copped. Inspector General of Police, leave political matters. Focus on securing Nigerians. Security advisor, leave political matters. Focus on how we can boost our security architecture. You are the Minister of Communication. You are in charge of this. Think of how best you can use technology to boost our. Okay, look at what Soludo is doing. Who is that? I heard from one of the governors that secretly planted cameras. I was trying to go into that. Okay, let's take a leaf from Burkina Faso recently. Do you know that guy? They say he stays in the office and monitor the whole of Burkina Faso.
No, because he's a military person, so yes.
Why can't he do in Nigeria?
We'll get to that. Thank you so much for your opinion on that. Let's move on to our next story. To mark International Women's Day celebration, widely commemorated by women all over the world, especially recognized by the UN for women's rights and world peace, a member representing Oyi Ayamelum Federal Constituency in the Green Chambers of the National Assembly, Honorable Iyom Gwacham Morin Chinwe, have called on government and relevant stakeholders to redouble their efforts towards providing a level playing ground for women to unlock their full potentials in every sector of their respective endeavors. With gender-sensitive scandals gradually overwhelming the polity at a time when women are core advocates of 21st century renaissance, Honorable Gwacham frowned at the rates with which women are abused, sexually objectified, discriminated against both in schools, workplaces, and all the fields of their endeavors. She decried the rising cases of abuses, rape, and domestic violence against women and advocates for a more robust measure to tackle the menace. According to Honorable Gwacham, I congratulate all the women globally, especially my women of Oyi and I am Mainlum Federal Constituency on this year's International Women's Day celebration, set aside to commemorate the uncommon contributions of women in the society, advocate for equal rights for women. As women, we are salt of the earth and indispensable. We are homekeepers, bridge builders, and nation builders. We must not be relegated against the backdrop of self-doubt and worthlessness. We must collectively unlock our respective potentials for the betterment of our society, she said. She called on government and relevant agencies to strengthen relevant gender discriminatory laws to unlock the full potential of the girl child. This year's theme focuses on the accelerated action towards equal rights, power, education and opportunities for the girl child and women all over the world. Ms. Tahila Isaac, I would love to have your opinion on this the advocates for equality and justice for women.
Okay, I want to say happy International Women's Day to all the women out there.
Okay.
When we say women first, any woman that rises in a family that wants to have a 50-50 equal rights, they see her as a feminist in Nigeria.
Okay.
Once you come up with that idea, this is my home, I'm going to respect you as a man, but let's have that 50-50 equal rights. They call you a feminist. But I don't think that is what it is. It's not like that. And that also applies in our government. It applies there because they don't give you equal rights. They feel you should be below them. And before you get to the top, they would want to subject you to certain things. Either you lobby to get there, or they would want to take advantage of you sexually.
Okay.
So you must fit into their own shoes before you get to the top, which is not supposed to be so. That was back then when we would agree to the fact that education wasn't for women. But we've seen women doing better. Look at Chimamanda. We've seen women doing better, even more than some men. So why don't we give them the room to unleash their full potential? Allow them do their best instead of restricting them, keeping them at a particular spot, making them feel like they can't do more.
Okay.
So I think as we advance, as the year is going, they should allow us, the women, to do more. Give us room to improve and get better.
All right. South Africa was ravaged by apartheid for, I think that was 40 or 40 something years, and currently you find out that there were cases of xenophobic attacks on Nigerians and South Africans, and xenophobia is a fear of strangers, and so people allege that for the fact that these guys have undergone oppression, it had shaped their mindset, that they believe that everybody coming into their land is coming to exploit them. Now, the clamor for gender equality, don't you think it is a defeatist mindset?
Okay.
Considering the fact that women are innovative, women are referred to as helpmeet, and before somebody helps you, the person is expected to be better than you. So, did you think gender equality and clamor for gender equality and this feminist clamor, don't you think this is it is a form of defeatist mentality?
I think so, because for them it's a different case. For Nigeria it is different. We haven't gone through that attack. We haven't experienced it. So for them it's going to be a bit difficult to allow the women to have upper hand to make decisions. Okay. So it's going to be a bit difficult for them.
Among the different levels of feminism, there are radical feminists and liberal feminists. And radical feminists believe that the woman should be the head. Liberal feminists believe the woman is the neck that controls the head.
It's like supporting
it. So what's your idea of when it comes to feminism?
Okay, when I did my project, I actually wrote about feminism in Nollywood movies. The way women are being portrayed in Nollywood movies. They are being subjected to a particular role. Not like now. I think that was in 2019, where they only give them supporting roles. And if they are giving them a lead role, they actually portray them in the light that they must be below the man. They don't make decisions. Whatever the man decides, you just have to succumb to it and then let's go with it. If it fails, you now come back and say, oh, my wife, if I had known, I would have listened to you. So for me, I think liberal feminism is the goal.
Okay.
not the rascal one.
Okay, so you spoke about 50-50 right.
Yes.
Do you mind explaining that?
Okay, 50-50 doesn't mean you're totally at the top. But the men should have the mindset of, my wife is in this with me equally. We are doing this together. But she should also know that she should submit to her husband. Sometimes you give him the room to do what he wants, even though you're not okay with it.
Okay.
Allow him to explain. And when he feels, or if he's okay, I said this, I didn't say this. So it's all about your mentality. Understanding it's 50-50, but still give room for a higher rank for the man.
Okay, before I go to come to you, Mr. Lebare, using Nigeria as a yardstick, how fair or how fair do you think Nigeria has thrived? In
Yes, when I grew up, the type of life I wanted living. I don't believe in gentility, but she bent me. We had some conflict, we were having some argument, but she never allowed me have my way and shaped me into the man I am today. So kudos to my mother. Mommy, I love you. Happy Women's Day to you and all the women out there. Okay, I'm one person that advocates for women freedom.
okay.
But before you talk about this, you need to, one thing is that we need to go back to our history.
History. What history?
We need to go back to our cultural value. See, the Bible says, he that breaks the edge, serpent will do what?
The bite.
The same Bible said, do not remove the ancient landmark. Teach your daughters, our women, to do it. But women should understand their place in the society.
That's my question now.
Now, women has influential authority,
Okay.
while men has positional authority.
Who made this theory you just stated?
Now, it's not theory. I'm talking about reality here.
So reality.
Now, this is what happened. You should ask me, how do I know?
Okay.
Do you know why God has to? If you study divine feminism, I did some studies about women. I love conflict. I work on conflict and anything that have to dive into it. If you study divine feminism, the power of a woman, man cannot exert 40% of what a woman can exert. But women we don't understand. That's why we fight with a man. The neck does not struggle with the head. The neck knows that if I don't want the head, okay, let something happen to the neck. The whole head cannot function. But if the head is in pain, the neck is still free. I don't know whether you are getting me.
Okay.
So, the weight of the head is on the neck. Women should understand. And for them to understand, they need to go back to our culture, our history, where men will bring, but women were the economic power of our culture. A man will harvest them, but it's the woman that sells it. A man will go to fishing, it's the woman that sells the fish. So what you bring is what the man takes.
Okay.
But just that we want to, this British curriculum in our school system, you know that curriculum is gotten from the society. Syllabus is gotten from the curriculum. Scheme of work and lesson plan is gotten from the syllabus. But our problem now is that we don't get our curriculum from our society. We are not getting our curriculum from what is happening on another person's society.
So you're trying to say that what is obtainable over there is not...
It's not obtainable here. See, the way I rule my family and run my family is not the way your family will be run.
Okay.
We are different person. We have different family.
But you know, times and season changes.
Even time and season changes, but value does not change. I said something here. The concept of morality, the gods accept it because it's right. It's not that because the gods accept it makes it right. It's right before the gods accept it. Are you getting it now? So we need to come back home and sit down, look at our culture. Now, culture changes. There's evolution in culture.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean there are permanent things in culture. And what is that permanent thing? One of the permanent things that comes to women is that women are meant to be, when I use the word under, it doesn't mean they are inferior. There's a difference between inferiority and being under somebody. I can be under you, but I'm more powerful than you.
Okay.
I don't know whether you are getting me. I can be under you, working for you, but I have influence, I have power, I have control more than you. Do you know that I can be in a sector, and why all the workers in that sector, they are running, making sure the sector is flowing, is because of my presence, not even because of the boss. The day I leave that sector will collapse. So it's high time we now make our women to understand. This is that most of the people fighting about women. Do you know where this contemporary feminism started from? It started from Europe. It started from Europe. That's why I said let's go back to history.
Okay. I will hold your thoughts on that. I'll hold your thoughts on that. Mr. Hiller, did you think the women are educated enough to understand their role and right in the society and the inherent ability they have within them to execute whatever they set their mind on?
Just like he said, women are meant to be under, but I think the word support system is better.
Okay.
Okay, so you said women, we are like the neck.
Okay.
So if the head is hot, we can still walk. Now you also made an illustration. You said a company could be running, but it's not actually the CEO that is running it. There is someone else, which, for instance, could be the neck.
Let's use a more realistic example. The CEO of Zenith Bank is a woman.
Okay, and it's working perfect. I think that answers your question. So she's educated enough, and she has every ability to run it. So that's because she was given the chance to. If she wasn't, you wouldn't see those potentials she's unleashing. You won't see them. So if you give the room with guide, she could do better.
Okay, with guide. You have a daughter. How would you love to raise your daughter?
Wow, thank you. I was talking to my wife recently. I said the way I want to raise my daughter is a way that for a man to talk to my daughter, first you will look at yourself. It's not because of money, but you will look at yourself intellectually.
Okay.
I know of a lady in Port Harcourt. He has a book camp. You can't just, the lady don't look at what you are driving. She does not have a car, but she has a value. Like you are just mere talking to her, engage in discussion, she will walk out of you. It's not pride. But the way some men has looked themselves as being Lord over women, I will train my daughter in a way that if you are a man coming to her, I used to tell my wife that I want my daughter in there, the way I'm relating with you, I want it that the day my daughter goes, I will tell a man, I want to marry a man like my father. I don't just want to be like my father, a man that will treat me the way my father treats my mother, the way. What am I talking about? I want to raise my daughter to be of value to the society, but in quotes, a daughter that will be a good support to a man, that will be under a man, adding her own value to the man's life.
Okay.
A woman that when she comes up, the Bible says, you know, there's something men are not getting. If you study about the virtuous woman, they don't respect the husband because of what the husband has.
Because of the woman.
It's because of the woman.
But let me create a caveat there. You said you're as a good support system. Now, I want to understand, are you trying to train that for him? Are you training her for a man? Or are you training her as an individual to stand on her own?
Yeah, now that is thank you for the question. Definitely, she stands on her own. I'm not going to train my daughter for marriage. Are you getting it?
Okay.
What I mean for marriage, I'm not training her so that when she gets married, I'm training her to be a woman on her own.
Self-worth.
She should understand her inner ability, use it to cope the problem in the society, provide the solution to it, if on the long run she gets married, she should know that there is difference between marriage institution and whatsoever institution she has built for
Let me hold your thoughts on that. Renowned Nigerian writer Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has said she is determined to bring up her sons as emotionally strong and responsible men. In a recent interview with the BBC's Ima Barnett, Adichie, 47, expressed concern over how young boys are often influenced by harmful societal norms. I'm determined to raise good men, she said. I want to raise my boys to be emotionally comfortable, to be in touch with their emotions, to not be afraid of fear. According to the popular East Coast author, boys today are growing up in a space where negative influences dominate. This space is just occupied by noxious characters and ideas, she said, adding that she hopes her sons will not only resist these pressures but also become men who stand for what is right. She believes in raising boys who are neither aggressive nor weak but balanced and confident. I want them to be the kind of boys that never start a fight, but if you bring a fight to them, they will beat you up, she stated. Adichie, who had her first child, a daughter, in 2016 and later welcomed twin boys last year, admitted that being a mother shifted her views on parenting. She also revealed that pregnancy affected her creativity, leading to a terrifying writer's block that made her doubt if she would ever write again. I have been hiding in a cave. I couldn't write for a while, and then I started writing again. This is what I tell myself to feel better. She said her new novel, Dream Count, is her first in over a decade, and while she did not initially intend to write about motherhood, she later realized that the theme naturally found its way into the book. Now, I had to hold your thoughts on that to get to this story, because I want us to balance this then, so we don't just mirror into the women and leave the boys out. So I want you to yoke this.
To go, but the female child is restricted. It sends a wrong signal. You see it as if the male child can do whatever he feels like doing. It's the female child that should be. So in this phase of it, you ended up spoiling the male child, making another person's daughter to come and suffer in his hand, while you train your own daughter to be homely, going to suffer in another male child's hand that have been destroyed.
Okay.
I don't know whether you are getting what I'm just opposing here. But to balance this up, you need to train your male children, like what she said. Me, I'm not afraid of anybody. If you bring fight, I will fight you. I am a Christian, but I love the ministry of Peter. Yes, that was my training. You can't come and put your hands in my mother's eye and expect me to cry that I will handicap you. If I can't beat you, I will put you sand. That is the training. But when it comes to the home, when we get home, when we see I can't abuse a female, I can't abuse a girl. Why? I have this discipline. If I look at a girl, why am I looking at you? Whatever your dress is, I should take my eyes off it. It's not my business. You came from a home. What you dress, that is what we were trained with. Is telling us, the family, you can't see my sisters dressing anyhow. You can't see my two sisters dressing anyhow. I'm not saying they are good. I'm not saying they are fake. But there is a family value that has been imbibed in them. Are you getting it now?
Okay.
So the same value should control me. And I should use the same value to train. Do you know why? See, my mother forced me to bathe outside. Even if I should tell you the training she gave to me. So to balance it up, I am training. I'm not just training my female children.
Okay.
I'm training I have a male child now. I'm also training him. Listen, I used to let him know that, see, whatever you do, you should be able to portray what you are seeing in this family. how are we as your uncles behaving? Me as your father, how am I behaving? I don't tell my son, don't do this thing I'm doing. Are you getting it now? I don't tell him. Because how will I tell you not to do what I'm doing? I'm showing it before you.
Okay.
I train my son to be like me. While he tries to be like himself, he should also be like me.
Okay.
So if I'm a bully, it's expected that my son will be a bully. But if I'm a bully, go and ask my wife. Because she's the nearest, she's the closest person to me. She will tell you if I'm a bully. If I'm homely, if I'm hospitable, go and ask my wife. She will tell you. She's the best person to tell you who I am now. Outside my mother and mine. So that is the same way I was talking about my daughter, the same way I'm talking about my son. So in a nutshell, to tell it, if you look at what is happening now, drug abuse is not only the male. I have been in the neighborhood. If you look at the ladies, the girls coming to buy drugs, hard drugs. Ladies, young girls, they are into drugs more than the male counterparts now. Okay. It seems that the society push men just like the head. You see everything that is on the head, but you don't know. I can cover the necklace, but the head, anything that is on the head is seen. If you look at the level at which ladies, girls are indulging in drugs, it's alarming. So we should be able to narrow. When we talk about assault, it's not just men that are assaulting. Ladies are assaulting men now. I get it. They assault men in the sense that if a lady likes you, she will start dressing the way she wants to appeal to your conscience. That is assault. Also. Okay,
let me hold your thought on that. You have younger ones. You want that you become a mother with sons. You have sisters, right? Yeah. How do you train their sister? How do you train your sisters now? And then how do you love to train your sons?
Train my sister now. Now I think I'm trying to give her the best exposure I can. Let her see word in different angles. So let me not say I'm holding her from hanging out with her friends. Okay. So when she now leaves the house, getting to tertiary institution, she gets access to go out and she misuses it. It won't be nice for me. So I give her that free access. Go out and then come back in time. So you don't say I was held back. So I want to explore now that I have the time. So I give her that free access. Enjoy it, but know what is good and what is bad. So it's the same thing for my other siblings, the guys. They are guys. It doesn't mean because they are guys, they can do whatever they want. You definitely get married. So whatever you're doing, you have kids, and they would want to do it to your kids. So you should act in a way that you wouldn't want someone to do that to you. Like hurt your feelings and then make you feel less, or because you're a guy, you can do anything you want. No, so I think they should be given same light. Both genders should be given same light, same exposure. Don't keep the lady inside because she's a girl. Expose her to sexual education, teach her things, allow her go out, mingle with others, so she doesn't get influenced easily. Okay.
In a nutshell, quickly before I round off, what's the concept on parenting in the 21st century?
We've gotten it wrong. Because 21st century pattern and system of parenting is all wrong. Are you getting it? We shouldn't do our parenting based on 21st century. We should do our parenting based on, number one, I'm a Christian. I should do it based on what the Bible says. I should do it based on the culture and the family value I came to meet, which has helped me to be me that you are seeing today. Not because of the 21st century, not because of what I am reading on the internet, but because of what morality, what is good before the gods accept it, and not what should be accepted before it's being good.
All right, Ms. Letahila, do you believe parenting is a collective effort?
Yes, it is.
So it involves both parties?
Yes. So
does it mean a woman, a single mother, can't successfully raise a society, healthy children?
That's a different case. A single mother, that means she's either not married or... But when both parents are involved, it's a collective effort. But if you're a single mother, that's a different thing. You can raise your child the way you want.
The way you want. So yes. Will you say a single mother has the ability to raise quality children?
Yes.
And also believe parenting is a collective effort?
Yes. Yes.
If she's quality on herself.
On herself.
She might not be quality, and she might want her child.
How can you give what you don't have?
It's very possible. She has made mistakes, and she must have learned from her mistakes, and should want to correct it through her child.
You can't correct through your child. You correct yourself first. Let me try to see this.
There are mistakes you can't go back to.
No, not to go back now.
So how do you correct it?
You correct it by, okay, from that place you are. For instance, you are a single mother. Maybe you were into drugs, and you see that it's no longer profitable. Your child shouldn't be seeing you doing drugs.
But no,
that's what I'm saying.
She may should not be taking the drugs again.
No, I'm not talking about taking drugs again. So when you stopped it, you know that it's bad now. You've corrected yourself now. So from there, your child peace off.
That's what I'm saying. That one is for drug. What about, okay, she was a prostitute?
That's the same thing. Leave that prostitution now. No, when you are out of it, even Bible says, come out from among them and be you are out of it now, so you've corrected it now.
That was a mistake. Thank you so much. Thank
you so much. Okay, this is where we'll draw the curtain on this episode of Atn Saturday. But before we go, I would love to thank my guest, Mr. Lebari Firi. It's always a pleasure doing this with you.
Thank you, Michael.
And coming for the first time, Mr. Hila Isaac, it was glad having you on the show this morning.
Thank you, Michael.
I hope to have you once more again. Thank you for coming. Don't forget, you can stay connected on Atn Socials, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, or you can watch us live on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Favor Chikwesiri Michael. Do have a wonderful day.
The board, management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2025 anniversary lecture of Atlantic Television Network and Wish 99.5 FM. Theme, Imperative of Private Media in Sustainable Development.
Keynote speaker, Professor Tony Iradia, erudite scholar and broadcast guru. Chairman, Professor Umar Pert, President, Society of Broadcasters, Nigeria, and Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Kashiri, Gombe State.